SR&BG and the destruction of the NPC breeding grounds. Plus, natural disasters. What are natural disasters? It's going to all make sense in the end, man. But before I say anything else, let me say warning to all the people who don't travel down a rabbit hole, to all the people with closed minds and don't ask the question why. If you're one of those people, you might not want to look at this video. Come back when I talk about body gangs, SR, women's, and tactics. But for this video, this is for the advanced, the people that could see past the illusion. Now, I'm talking about NPC breeding grounds and the destruction of the NPC breeding grounds, because these NPCs, the 90%, they come from little towns, these real little towns that's off the map. Towns in New Mexico, Wyoming, North Dakota, these same towns that these big police, these same police that be in Chicago, New York, LA, they not from New York or Chicago or LA. They from that small little town that you never even heard about. You hear what I'm saying? These are the breeding grounds for NPCs. Yes, this system have breeding grounds all over the world. They have them in Vietnam, the Philippines. China got so many of them. People. Yeah. They create towns, houses. These towns, they have houses. Some of these towns, we call them sundown towns. Like, have you ever thought about that? Like, there's people out there that's so crazy and bloodthirsty and damn retarded that an innocent person can't even come through their town. They're not regular people, man. This system has towns. They created these towns. A lot of these towns are in states that don't have professional teams because they want them to be more low-key. So you got North Dakota, South Dakota, you got New Mexico, you got places like up in Alabama, you got places like I said, in Vietnam, the Philippines, China. In these places, they breed NPCs, people. But the people don't even know that they NPCs in these towns, these small little towns. Because they're free. They have a church, they have houses, they have, just like you don't realize you a damn slave because you could go to work, you could do all of this type of stuff. But these people are NPCs. And speaking of the sundown towns, these NPC breeding grounds, they not just crazy racists. What they don't want is too many real ones in their town, because every one of these towns have a couple of melanateds up in there. And I'm going to tell you why it has to be a couple of melanateds up in all of these NPC towns. You see, they have these towns like Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was an NPC breeding ground. That's why, was it Abraham? That's why when Abraham was negotiating with the Most High, he was like, is there 10 righteous people in the town? It wasn't, they wasn't looking for 10 people to get on their knees and praise the Most High and do all of that type of stuff. They was looking for 10 real people. Because you see, Sodom and Gomorrah was an NPC breeding ground, which means that 99% of the people there wasn't even real people. This Sodom and Gomorrah was ran by wicked NPC program writers, programmers, cult leaders. And the program that was in Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't just a homosexual program, although that was a big part of it. The Most High didn't just destroy the earth when Noah days. He didn't just destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. He destroyed it because they were NPCs. They wasn't even real damn people. And he was searching for one real person inside this town. One chosen one real organic person, because see, every single body else, they couldn't even see that these was angels in front of them. They just wanted to rape them. These are NPCs. They create towns. Sodom and Gomorrah is just one town that you heard about. In Noah days, the only ones that was on the ark was the real ones. The other ones that was off the ark was NPCs and low vibers. This was a time that the NPCs took over like 100%, and damn near everybody was an NPC but Noah and his family. You hear what I'm saying? Now let's talk about natural disasters. What is a natural disaster? A natural disaster is an NPC cleanup. Why you think it ain't no natural disasters in Compton, in Watts, Chicago? Think about it. Have you ever thought about that? Where is all of the tornadoes in these real little bitty towns, right? Where is all of the flooding and all of this type of big natural disaster in places like China, Japan, up in Brazil, and different places where they have these NPC breeding grounds? The natural disasters is designed to clean up the NPCs when there's no chosen around. That's why the Most High said he's not going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah if it was 10. All the way down to it was 1. See, that one, chosen one, will save the whole town. But once the chosen one is out that town, like the Bible say, if you go to a town and it's evil, it don't accept you, 9 times out of 10, that's an NPC town. These not even real people. Dust the dust off your boots and go. And it's going to be worse in that town than in Sodom and Gomorrah. Just like in all of these towns that you see in these tornadoes and stuff. Them are NPC towns. These are the towns that they get the police in Watts, in Long Beach, in Chicago, in New York, up in Miami, Florida. Them police ain't from Miami, Florida that's killing the guys in Miami, Florida. Where they from? They from like Jukesville, North Dakota. You'd be like, where the hell is Jukesville? Something like that. I'm telling you, man. That's why you're seeing all of the natural disasters. They have like a mind. They are programmed. The tornadoes are programmed to destroy the NPCs. That's why they always need to have a couple of real people, even in these sundown towns. You will be looking at the sundown town thinking that it's 100% white people, but it don't be. It be like 99% white people and like 2 black families. Yeah, these black families are the ones that's keeping the town from getting tornadoed. Because if there's no real ones in a certain place, then the place doesn't exist. You understand what I'm saying? They create these downtowns. They build them. They can build a town real quick. Why do you think that Bill Gates got all of this land? What is he doing with all of this land? He is making NPCs. Where do you think nerds come from? I made a video about Revenge of the Nerds, and some people might have thought that I was just talking about a smart guy, and they start thinking about somebody in their family that's a smart guy that made A's and B's, and now he's probably an engineer and all of that, but he's not a nerd. That's not what I'm talking about. A nerd is a different thing. You will see 5 black people with blue eyes before you see one nerd. I'm talking about a Steve Urkel nerd. Nerds, they come from them towns. Did Steve Urkel have a mama and daddy? Did you ever on Family Matters see Steve Urkel with a mama and a daddy? No. Nerds, I'm talking about real nerds. You see, your cousin that's an engineer that went to school and all that, he probably got a little bit of swag now that he grew up. Probably got an earring. He probably still like girls. He got a Maserati because he's a damn engineer. And you see him, you like, boy, when you was young, you was a little nerd. Now you just big player. You see, a nerd that I'm talking about, an artificial intelligence that's living inside of a person that's programming things, those nerds, they don't like girls. They don't like kids. They don't like organic foods. Every single thing they touch, they try to make it mechanical technology. Like they will want a mechanical apple with nanobots. They don't want the original stuff. They don't want a nice type of German Shepherd or something. They want to create a dog called a pug, or better yet, they want a robot type of dog. These are not humans. So don't get it twisted when I say nerds and Revenge of the Nerds. This is this guy that you seen in high school and he was getting A's and stuff like that. That you never seen a damn nerd in your life, man. And if you have, it was one, and it was by accident. They work for NASA, they work for CERN. They are entities that are in bodies, and these bodies come from these towns, and these towns are being destroyed now. You see what I'm saying? If all of the wickedness is in the hood, if all of the crack, if all of the gangbanging and prostitutes and murder is up in the hood, then why isn't it no damn floods? Why do the earthquakes just skip over Inglewood? Why everything that's destruction inside of the place where the real ones are at is created and designed. The reason people in Chicago is getting taken out is because it's designed. It's a program. If they sit back and don't manipulate things, then it won't even never be no damn murders and crime inside of the communities. They make it crimes and murder inside the community because they go to their little towns and they get these people become police officers, CEOs. You working for them. They put the NPCs on top of us. They all come from these little towns that you never even heard of. Now you watching the Most High destroy these little towns all over the world, man. There's places that's off the map, like the island, and they use them for everything. Some of these towns breed these police officer terminators. That's why each big city got that big blue-eye Terminator type guy that came from somewhere that you don't know where the hell he came from, man. Now, all police officers is not NPCs. Because, like I said, if there's no real ones, then it got to go. So it has to be some real police. These are the ones that they make low vibers by putting them through all of these satanic rituals that we call Freemasonry and all of that. You hear what I'm saying? You ever noticed how a tornado will get this house, but it won't get this house or this house, and then it'll just skip over like it knows? You ever wondered why they always name hurricanes and it even has an eye like a cyclops or something, man? You ever wonder why the Poke and Bean Project is just not flooded all of the way and all of that type of stuff? And again, somebody brung up New Orleans. Why is New Orleans Hurricane Katrina and all of that when it is in New Orleans? It's a lot of real people. So why did it have to happen? For one, like I said, whatever happened around all of the real people, they orchestrated that. They did that. But why did the Most High allow that to happen then? Because at this time in New Orleans was on the map too at this time. Just coming out of the Cash Money, No Limit. I love that No Limit era though. Out of the No Limit era made me feel good about being in the damn military. I used to love wearing fatigues. I used to love New Orleans music, man. But that era, man, brung a lot of sin to New Orleans. After Cash Money and all of them came, man, New Orleans became like the murder capital of the galaxy, man. They was murdering people. They was putting voodoo on people. I heard that it was so much incest up in New Orleans. And then they brung all of that wickedness. They brought all of that wickedness to Atlanta. It's like if you fumigate your house, then all of the roaches gonna come next door. Ain't nobody no damn roaches. I'm just saying, man, NPC towns, they have towns. They have breeding grounds. Them towns you can't go in. You can't be in after a certain time because that's when they do rituals, that's when they eat people, that's when they reprogram the robots and all of that. Some of these towns they call sundown towns. These fake towns have engineers up in there and programmers that engineer and program. Sodom and Gomorrah was one of these towns. This is just one of the towns that we hear about and read about where a natural disaster, where nuclear fire came from the sky and earthquakes and stuff destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot's wife actually was an NPC. That's why she couldn't escape the program. You hear what I'm saying? She liked the program, so she had to go with the program. Once they're chosen, they are nowhere around NPCs, then the NPCs got to start going. Now, if you've been here this long, I have a video I want to show you. And this is the first time I seen an NPC town malfunctioning. They're not going to tell you that it's malfunctioning, but I want you to use your own mind. Now, before I show you that, let me tell you leading up to that. Dr. Delbert Blair, the late, great Dr. Delbert Blair, who is also a prophet, because a lot of his stuff is coming to pass right now. He talked about the gateway in 2011, the 1111 gateway, which was going to be activated in November 11, 2011. And he said this is when everything is about to start changing. This is the real 2012 that everybody is talking about. It wasn't going to happen right there in 2012. It actually happened during the gateway, the 1111 gateway. I felt it too. I felt it, the 1111 gateway. And he also did the code with the 111 when everybody can line up their date, the last two that they was born, and then how old they were going to be. You can look that up, and everybody's number came out to 111. He was saying that that was a code. And as we start waking up after 2011, people are going to start going down because of all of these spirits are going to be coming in them because the gateway is open. And in the original gateway is open by the Most High, and they are opening a fake gateway. So a lot of spirits are going to come in and out of people. And another thing that's going to happen is that these NPC, these artificial people, they're going to start malfunctioning. And Dr. Delbert Blair is actually one of the ones who said that there's NPC town breeding grounds. He said like Hobbs, New Mexico, Roswell, different things like that, right? Now, the gateway was being opened naturally by the Most High, but they opened up the gateway, a demonic gateway in 2011 when the bath salts was the big thing. People was taking bath salts, and then they was eating people's face up in 2011. And why bath salts? Because the nickname for bath salts is K2. K is the 11th, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet, K2. K2, so that's 1111. K2 is a gateway. K2 is an artificial marijuana. They always said that marijuana was a gateway drug, but yet this synthetic K2 bath salts was a gateway drug to the demonic. In damn near all America, somewhere people were smoking that, especially in Phoenix and up in LA. It was a lot of spice and K2 going on in 2011. It opened up a gateway. But let me show you real quick. I can make a whole nother video on that. Rest in peace, the late great Dr. Blair. I hope you made it this far in the video, because this is the first time that I seen the malfunctioning of an NPC town. I'm gonna make another video. I'll come back at you. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I don't usually say that, but since I had to do some editing, hook me up. Peace.
Correspondent Jim Spellman recently sat down with families from Leroy, New York, who've been impacted by this mystery. The mystery that surfaced in their hometown last fall when students began to suffer from uncontrollable tics and verbal outbursts. Let's take a look at a little more of Jim's interview. Watch this.
Your heart just breaks, you know, it aches. I mean, this is your child. You don't want something like this for your children, or even anybody else's children.
Lana Clark's daughter, Lauren, is a sophomore at Leroy High School, and she is one of the 16 known students at the school suffering from a medical mystery, uncontrollable tics, and verbal outbursts.
I wasn't ticking, I wasn't moving or anything.
Malfunctioning.
I couldn't talk, but once I started ticking and everything, it just hurt really bad.
Lauren's mom says this medical mystery is frightening to her entire family.
She was scared, and I was scared. She was upset. I mean, there were times that she broke down and started crying, and and although being a parent, I have to be strong, I was ready to go cry too.
Charlene's daughter, Tracy, a junior at Leroy High School, is also suffering from the same medical ailment. Charlene was equally baffled by her daughter's Tourette-like symptoms and unsatisfied with the diagnosis she received from doctors.
What's going on? Is it something contagious? Is it what's causing all of these girls at once to come down with the same sort of symptoms?
As for Tracy, a junior who's gone from the honor roll to failing grades,
Wow.
just wants to get better.
Wow. People in school, everyone stares and says things they shouldn't, and it just
Very heartbreaking to me, to be honest. Knowing that right now I can't do what I love.
Farrah Sanchez was a cheerleader, an honor roll student, and as a senior at Leroy Junior High School in upstate New York, well on her way to planning her college future. When she woke up from her nap last October, everything changed.
She just woke up from a nap?
The stuttering it took over, really contorting on the left side of, with her mouth and her neck.
The doctors told Farrah her condition was brought on by stress and she would get better. But once the stuttering ended, it soon gave way to uncontrollable twitching.
And this goes on all day long, Farrah?
Yes, yeah.
All day long?
All day long.
This video was taken in the hospital in mid-October by Farrah's mother, soon after she brought her daughter in for twitching. It was on that day, she says, a nurse told her Farrah wasn't the only one who had been brought to the hospital with the condition.
She had said, not to alarm you, but somebody needs to contact somebody because you're the fourth girl in a week that come in with this.
In all, health officials say 12 girls from Leroy Junior-Senior High School have exhibited similar symptoms. The girls were from different grades, and some didn't know each other, but many did, including Farrah's friend, Lydia Parker.
last time I went to the neurologist, they said that they're not sure and that they'll keep looking into it. But
they don't know.
They haven't told anyone anything.
I know.
Hundreds of parents met with health officials who said tests showed no evidence of any environmental factors at the school.